What's up, guys? It's your favorite Kiwicoach. We're out here at the beautiful St. Mark Golf Club. If you guys don't know this course, go check out the link in the description. We got Kevin Picarillo, one of our assistant pros, behind me. Say what's up, Kevin.
Hey.
Where can people follow you?
stmarkgolf.com.
stmarkgolf.com. Go check out the website. We're going to be doing a testing today, the F9 versus the F8. Which one do you think is going to go further?
hotsweetpickle.com. F9, baby.
F9 is going to go further. So let's go do the initial test. We're going to have Kevin hit 10 shots with the F9, and then we're going to do 10 shots with the F8. And yeah, we'll get some data. So let's go do it. All right, guys, so Pick just hit 5 shots. Kevin, how do you feel like on those 5? You got a couple good ones, a couple bad ones?
I'd say 2 out of 5 are really good.
2 out of 5 are really good. So let's go take a look at the numbers. So we're gonna hop down here. So you guys probably won't be able to see numbers, so I'm just gonna read them off, and then you guys will see something up here on the screen. But total carry average was 261. Average total was 304. So pretty good there. Smash was averaging at 1.40. So those were like the crazy ones that kind of threw off the smash there a little bit. Spin rate averaging at 32, so a little bit, not super high, but we're gonna go test out the F8, and then after we test out the F8, we're gonna look at the totals again, and I apologize, we're actually just gonna hit 5 shots. Kevin's, we don't wanna be doing 10 shots, so let's go hop into the F8 now, and take a look. Guys, it's Trevor. Say hi, Trevor. What up? Shout out. All right, guys, so Pick just finished that set with the F8. Let's take a look. So again, we're gonna have the numbers up here on the screen. So we hit carry of 256 total, 288, or actually not total, 256 carry, 288 total, 1.39 smash, so not quite as solid as the other ones, but still relatively close, which is important to know. And then spin rate's only about 200 revs on average more. So I would argue, with the smash being as close it is and the spin being as close it is, that Kevin's hitting the F9 further, which is not what I thought was going to happen. So we're going to do 5 more for each, and then we're going to come back to you guys and see what we got. All right, test number 2, 5 shots, F9, rips. All right, guys, that was set 2 with the F9 for Pick. Let's go check out the averages real quick. Again, they're going to be up here right on the screen. So we got 255 carry, this time 295, so a little bit dropped from the last time. But pretty similar numbers there, and still better than the F8 of last. So we're going to test the F8 one more time. He's going to have to get some like 340s for this thing to even out. But so far, it might be the F8, guys. All right, guys, that's the last batch. Let's go take a look. So again, numbers are gonna be up here. So he's averaging carry 264 with that, 296.8. So better than the one he had with the previous F8 for the first test of that, but still not quite as good as the F9. Now, dispersion though, I think is actually tighter. I think you're actually, Kevin, I think you're, let's see. If you look at dispersion here, 8.1 yards right, 0.5 yards right, 3.7 right. You had the 2 last ones were a little crazy, 14 yards offline on the and 32 yards offline. So yeah, a couple crazy ones in there, but overall, I still think the F8's a little bit more accurate. But yeah, we'll hop inside and do a little bit more accurate view of these stats and break them down for you guys. What's up, guys? Back in the office, we're going to take a look at the F8 versus the F9, the first test, and we're going to compare the second test, and then we're going to kind of compare maybe the second test versus the first test for different drivers, and just really kind of see, can we make a judgment that one went further than the other? The initial stats does show that the F9 goes further than the F8, but can we break down the stats a little bit more and possibly see that maybe they're closer than we thought they were? And yeah, let's hop into it. So you guys are going to see two types of numbers. You're going to see a yellow number and a blue number, the yellow number being the F9 and then the blue number being the F8. So let's go take a look at the carries first, and then we're going to hop through kind of the numbers and just work our way over. So average carry 261.8 with the F9, 255.4 with the F8. So just based off the carry right there, we can see that the F9 is 6 yards further. Now, is there something going on with the golf swing that is causing that? We're going to find that in the ball speed and kind of smash factor and spin area. So let's go take a look at those. So we go take a look at ball speed. We can see that roughly the F9 is 2 mph faster ball speed. So that means it's a little bit more efficient off the face. Now, is that due to because he was just striking it better? Let's go hop over to the smash side. We can see, yes, he was striking it slightly better in the averages, but only by 0.01. And if you kind of go through the spin rates as well, he's also spinning it about 200 revs less with the F9. So I would say, based off these kind of initial look into the numbers, the F9 and the F8, the two swings that he had for those two were fairly similar, right? There wasn't a whole lot of deviation between the two. Now, there definitely was some deviation, but not a whole lot. So I would say that making a claim at this point that the F9 is going further than the F8 is somewhat accurate. Now, just doing 5 swings for both is not the most accurate test case, right? But you can start trying to build a claim at this point, right? And the reason why we didn't just do 5 swings was because of this. You're going to get some people saying you can't build a claim off of just 5 swings. I totally agree. That's why we're doing some more swings here in the future. But the initial look into these two numbers, or these two golf clubs, is we're seeing that the F9 is a little bit further. Let's go take a look at lateral deviation, because that's a big thing too, kind of when you're getting fitted for a driver. Are you willing to lose some accuracy for distance? Now, here's kind of a confusing number that I see some people misinterpret when they're doing their statistics, or not their statistics, when they're looking at their numbers basically through here. So you can see the F9 has a 17.1 left average in terms of lateral deviation offline. Basically, it's missing 17.1 yards on average offline. And then the, then the F8 is missing on average 0.4 right yards offline. So if you just took those stats, or numbers, why do I keep saying stats? If you just keep taking those numbers, you're going to think that the F8 is way more accurate. But if you actually go through and look at the numbers, like if you go look at the blues, you can see that there's a 34.7 yards to the right, there's a 33.9 yards to the left. So those two kind of almost cancel each other out. So it makes it look like the dispersion is a lot tighter than it really is. If you go take a look at the F9, you can see there's a 32.4 left, and there's also a 37.6 left. So the two didn't cancel each other out. So then again, it looks like he has a bigger miss to the left with the other one, right? But it also kind of shows us too that he has a two-way miss with the F8. But that could just been swing. Most likely it was swing, right? But that's something to kind of take a look at. But in my experience, I'm willing to lose accuracy for distance. I know that distance equals a whole lot of things in terms of playing good golf. It's a lot easier to score when you're bombing the ball out there. Most of the courses these days are now designed to where it's a bomber's paradise, everyone likes to call it. You're really not getting into a whole lot of trouble if you're flying. You're pretty much flying a lot of the trouble if you're flying at 305, 310 plus in the air. So I'm totally okay with losing some accuracy for some more distance. Now, if I'm playing a different course, that might be another story, right? But then that gets into more so a different argument than what we're trying to bring up today. So just some things to think about when you guys are out there testing and trying to get your drivers. What type of course do you guys typically play? Is it okay for you to lose a little bit of accuracy to get some distance? When do you hit driver? Do you hit it on a lot of tight holes? Do you only hit it on holes where you know there's a lot of room? What is your game plan? I mean, a lot of different things like that you guys should be thinking about. But initial test, F9 a little bit hotter off the face, a little bit further than the F8. Let's go take a look at some other stats though and see if we can find. So let's look at the last batch of these numbers, and we're going to try to make a claim after this. Is the F9 or the F8, which of those two are the longer of the two drivers? So let's go hop into the carry first. So Looking at the F9, we can see the average carry is right around 255.6 relative to the F8's 264.3. Now, based on these initial looks into the numbers, we can see that they kind of flip-flopped. But why did they flip-flop? Let's go look at one shot in particular with the F9, and we're going to see the reason why. So if we go look at the first shot with the F9, we can see that he carried it 213, which is roughly right around 40 to 50 yards shorter than his other shots. Now, why was this the case? Well, this goes into the player's role, right? The player mishit it. He hit it super high toe. We can see that smash dropped down to 1.32. Ball speed obviously dropped as well. And then spin was down a little bit as well at 2200 revs. So if we take that shot off from the F9 and replace it with a somewhat similar shot pattern, because I mean, look at how tight his long to short dispersion was with the other ones. 267.3, 265.4, 269.2, and 262, right? Within like 5 yards of each other. So if we give him a normal one of like 264, replace that from the 213, we're going to see that the average carry is almost probably further than the F8 just by a little bit, right? Or at least matching it. So taking that miss hit out of the equation, we're going to see that those two are pretty much the same as the first test. I would argue that the F9 is slightly longer in terms of carry than the other one. Now, if we look at total rollout, even with that slight miss hit, he's still averaging 295.8 in terms of total with the F9 relative to 296.8. So again, that's 1 yard shorter, but if you then again replace it with a better strike, I think that would change, right? Because his one miss hit was 271 total. So I would say that would go up to roughly around 297 to 305. So again, based off taking away the miss hit, I would still say that the F9 is slightly longer for this individual player. Now, if we go take a look at kind of smash factors, even with the miss hit, the two are within 0.01 of each other. I would argue again, without that miss hit, that the smash would be a little bit higher with the F9. Spin rate is roughly right around the 200 revs of each other, so really tight. If you get rid of that 2200, which is his low spinning shot, it's probably going to be roughly maybe a little bit closer together as well. But again, with the F8, for his first shot with the F8, he also had a 4013 spin rate, which is the highest I've seen him throughout almost all the tests, right? So bear in mind, I still think that the spin rates are pretty similar. Smash is going to be a little bit more for the F9. And just in general, if we kind of take a look at everything in a whole, the F9 is a little bit longer for this player. Now, based off this, can we make the claim that the F9 driver is longer than the F8? Again, I think it really comes down to the individual's kind of patterns. If you're more so of a high spinning player and you have a driver that's not already a low spinning driver, will it help you get a little bit more distance? I would argue yes. Now, if you're already a low spinning player and you have a high spinning driver, not high spinning, but you have not a, let's say, a low spinning type of head, and then you go into a low spinning head and you spin it even less, you might lose some distance, right? So again, it's relative to the individual. That's why getting a fit is so important. But based off this initial test for this player, the F9 is definitely, I would say, the club for this player. Even though you can see that lateral deviation on the averages, it looks like it's a little bit tighter with the F8. I still think if you go through all the numbers that they're pretty similar and that lateral deviation average is a little bit kind of misleading. And yeah, based off that, I would say F9 for Kevin all day. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this test. If you guys would like to see some different topics brought up when I do testing comparisons between two drivers, or if you have some future ideas or future clubs you would like to see kind of tested, leave a comment below. Let me know. I'm starting this new series. I really want to get into the testing series on YouTube and really just make a bunch of great content. So if you guys have any ideas, some constructive feedback, leave that comment below. Hit that like button, smash it if you want. If you never hurts. And then as always, hit that little red subscribe button. All right, guys, best of luck. Play some good golf out there, and see you guys soon.